start the meeting at 7, and that, well,
Jim Westmoreland.
Jim
and
Westmoreland and Marcus
Major are
Major
absent.
are absent. Consent calendar? Comments, questions, thoughts?
Looks good. Move to accept as written.
Second.
Okay, Jim Fricke,
Yes. Approve.
Dean Milberg,
Yes.
Jeff Clamp.
Yes. Moving on to new business, hearing from the audience, 15 minutes. Limit to 15 minutes, and speakers limited to 2 minutes for topics not on the agenda. Anybody? Just hanging out? Okay. Special reports, Chief?
The only thing I have to add to my report is the auditor will be here on the 16th, so you and Jim will be requested to come
Oh,
in.
what's the date?
The 16th through the 20th, so sometime during that week, you're going to be requested to come in and talk to him.
Okay.
And that's all I got.
Got a 20-year thing.
20-year
Talk
thing.
about it.
Ed? We've had several guys over the years, in fact, Ed's number 7, to get to the 20-year mark. I'm gonna turn around. Okay. So we kind of decided, we need to start doing something special for these guys, since in our 50-plus years of service, Ed's number 7. So Ed, tonight we'd like to present you with a plaque for 20 years service and your 4 service stars. Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for your service.
Congratulations. Thanks for your service.
Thank you.
It's okay, you can go have dinner now. You don't
Very good. Items for action, 2016 first quarter report.
Presented here is Jim's first quarter report, and for general knowledge, we do have a quorum tonight. We can approve the quarterly report. It's not a major item that requires a supermajority. So,
Probably worth just reading the second paragraph that Jim has met with you, Chief, and reviewed all the expenditures and deposits for the first quarter. Overall expenditures for January through March are about 19.08% of the budget based on a straight line gauge of 25%. So the spending percentage reflects that the department is under authorized straight line expenditures by 5.92%. So if we have a motion to accept the first quarter report, that'd be great. So move.
Second.
Jim Fricke,
Yes.
Dean Milberg,
Yes.
Jeff Clamp.
Yes. Items for discussion, 2017 budget.
okay, I've given you guys a copy of our proposed budget. It basically just has proposed expenditures. Like I've said before, we have not received any income. Well, we have now started to receive some income numbers from the county. Motor vehicle taxes will be up about $1,000 next year. Our KPNF that we pay is down 1%, so that percentage is about $6,000. So that was a good tune there too. So I give you several different options. Other than that, the income is, we won't have anything on the income for at least another month yet. So I gave you 4 different options. One is a step increase. One is a step with a COLA. And I kind of threw that in with the what the city has come down with on their pay plan that they just did. And of course, city council met the other night, and they're pretty upset about, from what I read in the paper, they're pretty upset about what the company has come out with. So, because it didn't say, they're overpaying all their people. So I would like to have a work session at some time to kind of explain to you guys. Basically, what I've done is revamped our pay scale and basically changed the upper ends, took some of the bottom ends off, so it will be no, if we change the pay scale to what I have proposed, there'll be no changes in salaries. It's just basically, well, we're taking the bottom end off and we're adding to the top end, because like on my range, you guys have all said before that, you're not going to find anybody to replace me for what you're paying me, and oh, by the way, you're not getting raised, which is fine, but my pay scale is basically on the same level as a Leavenworth captain. So if you look at mine, we're kind of changing it to, my top scale is the bottom step for the Lansing Police Chief. So he goes from there up. So what I'm proposing is we change the top end of it, kind of get it more in line with the assistant chief and captains and lieutenants also. But again, that's a work session item, and if we do follow it, there's no, like I would go from step 12 to step 7, same dollars, no money change. I'll see no money out of this because I'll be gone in 3 years, and so
You've been saying 3 years for 3 years.
I know it, but I guarantee you in 36 months I'm going.
All
So,
right. Is that 1.21% that you're recommending for the COLA?
I went through since 2000, I believe it was 2008, the last time the board, or 2010, and I took an average of the COLAs since then, according to the government, and come up with that 1.21.
So you're recommending the step in option 1, and option 1A is a step plus the COLA?
Yes.
And the COLA is, and where's the redo of the pay brackets that you just talked about, where would that be? Is that just a redo of that?
Yeah, it would be a redo of that, and it would cost the district about $3,000. So the gain we got in the KPNF of $6,000 will more than offset that 1.2% COLA. So it was more than better than a wash. Then option 2 was adding a fireman, which I think we're going to discuss here, the next step. You guys pretty well discussed that, so.
The option, the adding of is that the position at High Prairie, or is?
No, that's position on shift B shift,
At High Prairie.
that we've talked about for this whole year.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Next, option 3 is replacing Unit 562, and I kind of, you had some comments last month about why don't we just wait for 2 years? And I kind of explained it to you in my report that 2 years ago, that truck was $460,000. Today, it's $560,000, so it went up $52,000 a year. If we wait 2 more years, and it'll probably go up another $52,000 a year. So if we wait 2 years and save $100,000, we basically just paid for the cost of inflation. So, and also we've paid a lot of money to fix the truck.
So when we did our truck research the last time we purchased, I thought you said that the original price was around $500,000, and we were able to get it down when we negotiated it. When we bought the last truck.
No, when we bought
So
it,
there
it
was
was
no
it was
movement on the
400. It was
460?
460, yeah.
Okay. It didn't change at all?
No.
We went
The
through
only
the,
difference was the
Buying cooperative,
buying
so-
cooperative and paying for the truck up front. We did save the 2%, which was $15,000.
Yeah.
That's where we did drop $15,000 by paying for it.
One of the things that you had talked about was putting $50,000 in the 2 trucks.
Right.
That was, when did we have that conversation? Was that a part of a conversation?
Well, that's what we said last month. That You asked, why don't we just go ahead and fix the trucks rather than buy new trucks? Well, we're looking at probably paying in the next 2 years $50,000 to keep these trucks in service.
That probably warrants a little bit of explaining. What we had talked about was, the worst case scenario was if everything broke on the truck, it cost around $25,000
Yeah.
to fix. So the assumption that since over the last few years, we've put a couple grand into the trucks in true replacement costs, I don't see $25,000 in expenditures per year per truck as realistic. I agree with you, I wouldn't want to do that either. If a truck breaks and it's a worst case scenario,
Yeah, worst case scenario was $25,000. But the
Yeah.
big thing, like I say, is we know the truck's going to have inflation. And you made a comment, let's wait for 2 years. Well, the inflation on this truck went up $100,000 in 2 years, so basically, we can figure the inflation on the truck's gonna go up again, $100,000, so we've really saved nothing, and we've taken the chance of keeping these 2 trucks and spending that extra $50,000.
You know, without getting into the argument about increasing in the cost of trucks to that magnitude, at some point, if the truck in 4 years is $1 million and we can't afford it from a taxpayer perspective, at what point do we say we gotta look at a different kind of a truck?
Yeah, that,
You know, it's,
That's-
to have prices that go up this amount is concerning.
That's insane.
Yeah.
2 years, $100,000.
Yeah.
That's
When-
insane.
It's quite
It's-
a jump.
That's a
Yeah,
jump.
and I, whether it's realistic or not, to think that it's gonna continue at that path, I don't know. I don't know.
yeah,
what to
I
say.
don't know, I'm just saying by, the last 2 years it went up 50, that, it may not go up, it may metal, because when we built Station 2, we got weekly bids on the metal.
Okay.
We got a bid on Monday, this is good till Friday, and that's all it's good for. So, this price we got on the truck, the 50, whatever it was, I told you guys 50, or 500 and,
60.
$560,000, that's good till September. So, prices have froze at least for 6 months. So, now, September may go up, may go down, but I doubt if it's gonna go down, but that's a good price till September.
So on this, what do we need to do with this today? Just,
This is just kind of, and the option 4 is everything, the truck and an additional person plus an additional assistant chief. I had talked to you guys about possibly starting an assistant chief, so the worst case scenario, we're looking at an 8.814 mil levy.
And all these options are building on each other?
Yes, yeah, everyone's
Okay.
building on each
All
other.
right. So 4 includes the truck,
4 includes the truck and everything else.
plus 1, plus step, plus coal?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So
Sounds like we
everything
need to set up a work session.
yeah, I agree with you. I think that'd be and we had talked about having a work session last time,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
probably coming up.
That's what I'm just giving you guys this, so you got, you can chew on it for a couple more weeks, and
So June, the budget cycle looks like what in the June meeting?
okay, we're looking at the June meeting of, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, June 6th?
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Maybe June 6th, maybe not June 6th.
No, I mean, if,
Oh, well, okay, we're talking about,
If we change.
as of today, we're talking about maybe moving it to the second Monday, so.
That sounds great.
So
Yeah.
then we're looking at June 13th, so
Okay.
we're probably going to have numbers right around June 13th. So
Okay.
we may have some more number, we may not, but, this is just giving you guys an extra month to look at this. We're really ahead of the curve this year on this
you
budget.
think in work session before or after we get the numbers?
So the vote is, how does the cycle go from a budget?
July, we have to vote to publish it. Now, we will have, by the July meeting, we will have all the numbers. We will have the numbers by July 1st.
It's probably worth having it after we have the numbers. Because we have a work session in June. It seems to me like having it before that, then we're going to vote on publishing it in July.
Right.
So there'll be nice spirited conversations, and then we'll
boy.
vote on it in August. Good.
Right.
Does that work? What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's fine.
How close are we going to be to the numbers? So you want to do it in May?
Well, I was just thinking, looking at options, we can kick around what we're looking at regardless of the numbers.
Yeah.
And then we get the numbers in, then we can, the only thing that's gonna change probably is the mill.
Yeah, hopefully the
Looking
mill
at the
goes,
options.
That's
because
right.
the mill I've got in here, it reflects no increase, and it
So
always
hopefully,
goes up.
Whatever
some.
option we go with, the mill is
We-
lower than what's printed
Yeah,
right here.
we've had 1 year where the mill levy has gone down, but every other year it's gone up, so that's what I say, the worst case scenario, if we get everything we've asked for, which ain't gonna happen, but everything we asked for is 8.814.
So are you thinking you'd like to have it in May?
I'd like to have it in May because, number one, I'm talking about the cadet program too
Sounds good.
at a session, so, and we can talk about when to do that later if you want.
Throw out a couple emails with some dates for a work session.
Well, we got 16th and 23rd coming up, give the guys a little time there. Then the last one's Memorial Day, which I won't be here. So, yeah, let's send out some emails and see, make sure the other guys are good.
23rd, ringing a bell to you?
16th and 23rd, I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Thursdays, those would be fine for me, either one of those as well.
Okay.
Let's see what Marcus and Jim, how their schedules look.
I'm good on the 16th.
So,
I'm good on the 23rd.
Okay. We're both fine either date.
Yeah. We canceled the law enforcement awards, so therefore I'm good for the 16th. Otherwise, I was be cooking spaghetti.
yeah, both of those work. All right. Additional firefighter.
Okay, you guys talked about last month, this is the end of our study. You guys got the final numbers. High Prairie ended up with 7 minutes and 54 seconds.
Now, is that 2 firefighters on the truck?
No, that's one firefighter stationed out there. Well, that's for all response times. That's the first truck going on scene.
First truck on the scene, but they can't fight a fire, can they?
Well,
One
they
truck,
can do,
one person?
well, they can do what they can do.
I'm just.
It's first truck on scene.
First truck on the scene.
Yeah.
Bottom line, it cut the response time significantly.
Yeah, this is all med calls, fires, car wrecks, everything.
And the idea, Jim, was to get somebody en route faster with the guys from Station 1 following. So, looking if it made a substantial difference out there. That hiring one extra will give us a fireman out there on all shifts.
Okay,
So it'll be
then,
covered.
just out of curiosity, what is the normal time that it takes for the second person to get there? Or do we have you calculated?
Well, it depends on, we've got a guy sitting out
Voluntary,
there,
whether
Josh, if Josh and Matt aren't working, then they're leaving from their house and driving out to the scene, so, there may be times where there'll be 3 guys right there pretty quick. If they're working, then just start one guy, and then the others just drive time from here that way.
Which is 11 to 12 minutes on the average, right?
11,
Based
12.
on
At least,
historics.
yeah, it's 11:47, 12:47, it's right about 12 minutes
Yeah.
drive time from here, average.
With the addition of a potential second out there, or covering of that shift with an additional person, the projection, you might want to, I don't think it's fair to say it's going to cut down in half again
Oh, no.
by having someone on another shift,
I mean,
right?
having somebody,
Or having
right now, we've got 2 shifts covered, 1 shift not covered.
the one that's not covered, if once it's covered, should help, well,
No,
this is only to replace the one that's...
the 10:33, go back and look, in the years past, it's been about 12 minutes. Last year, we cut it down to 10:33 when we had 2 shifts covered. So this 10:33 to 7:54, this 2-minute drop has been covering the 3rd shift and keeping the guys out there.
And that's
With
having
our
one
trial.
person out there or
Yes,
2
that's
people out
just
there?
one
Yes,
person
one
out there,
person.
one person all shifts.
Yeah.
You like that, Roberta? No. All right, we don't need anybody out there. But yeah, that's, with 2 shifts covered, then the 3rd shift covered, so if someone's at High Prairie all the time,
Right.
that,
We've got somebody on
Brings it
scene,
down.
we got somebody on scene within 8 minutes, which is comparable to Delaware. Of course, it's not comparable to Lansing, but at least Delaware and High Prairie are comparable with each other.
So, if I'm looking at this, we had 6 fires. I don't know what percent of that. When you say April runs to date, that's for all the runs for April.
Yes.
Do you know how many fires were out in High Prairie in
No,
April?
I didn't, even if I could break
Can
it
you
out,
shoot
but I
it?
don't, yeah, I can shoot it to you, but this
Well,
is,
out of 6, do we know?
oh, I have no idea.
Was it-
I,
How many times you guys go out to High Prairie in April? Couple?
oh, yeah, a couple of weeks, yeah.
Well, if it's a couple a week, then you're over 6 fires.
No, all calls.
I'm just saying fires.
Oh, I,
I mean, we don't have that many fires, right?
No, uh-uh.
We got 6. Of those 6, do you know if one was in High Prairie? The point I was trying to make is, there's probably one run. If say there was one in April, your guy gets out there, he can kind of start to set up stuff. He really shouldn't be fighting a fire from all of our conversations historically.
right,
So, but he's able to at least get a jump on things on one of the 40 trips you've had out there. The other ones,
right.
dude's having a heart attack, he can start to administer CPR, he can be,
Right.
which is a majority of the calls that are happening,
Right.
are things where he can make a difference.
Right.
That's
We
kind of
had a
what
call,
I was thinking.
one case in point, we had a call last year when we were doing some construction,
Yeah.
and Steve Lacy and I responded to the call, and neither one of us can make interior attack. But both of us got there, we set it, we got on the scene, we set the truck up, we dropped the porta tank, we had the hose line all stretched out, we were ready to go. When these guys showed up, all they had to do was get off the truck, grab the hose, and go in the house.
Can one person do that, same thing? And start
Yeah, they
getting
can
this-
start setting up, yeah.
So they can, so I think it's, when you look at this, the drop, in my opinion, it feels like it's significant only because most of the calls are assist calls where they could make a difference by having one
Yeah.
that shows up out
Yeah.
there. So that was the only point I was trying to make. I think it's,
And on a grass fire, the truck can park in front of the, everybody says it's infecting my barn. With the grass fire, the pumper will sit in front of the barn and can squirt water around the barn so the grass can go around the barn, save the barn.
okay.
But you're right, it's the medical calls, assist, EMS assist, that type of thing, that we've got somebody out there faster. And sadly, if there's a big wreck south side of the county, EMS is not going to get there for a while.
Jeff, may I ask a question?
Yeah, you bet.
Because I missed the comment.
Yeah.
So when a firefighter from station number 2, say they respond to 92 highway, they're gonna get there first, but only one man's there. Even if we get 3, there's still only gonna be one man there. The numbers aren't gonna change. They're still gonna wait for station number 2 to assist them. They're
On a
not gonna be
fire?
able to go in the house, they're not gonna be able to start the pump or the truck. They can pull out the hoses, but he can't man the end of the hose and do the pump thing at the same time, right? He can't turn the water on and be at the end of the hose also.
I can,
You can do
I
that?
can. Jeff can.
Okay, well.
Josh we wonder about.
That's-
but It's not primal, but you can, yeah.
Okay,
You can't go inside, no, but if there's water, if there's fire squirting out a window, we can put the hose line in the window.
okay, but like you said prior, there's a buddy system, and I don't want anybody going into a fire.
No, they're not gonna go in the house by
Because that just
themselves,
puts more
no.
risk.
No.
And so, number 1's out there and they're waiting. Yeah, they can squirt the ground and maybe shoot in a window or something, but it's still idle time. I'm saying that the numbers are probably skewed a little bit because they really have to wait for station number 2 to get there. in
But
order
like
to be-
Chief said, when they get there, they're putting the tank out for refill, things they would have to do anyway. So either the one guy starts getting it done, or they wait till guys from this station get there and get it done. But it's got to get done before they start fighting fire.
But what I'm saying is Station 1, or Station 2 can go ahead and get there, say it's on 92 Highway, because they're closer.
Right.
They can administer CPR or a minimal first aid. They
Right.
can't do ringers or trachs or anything like that. Minimal first aid.
We can't do that with everybody we got on the department. We're not
Right.
we're not paramedics.
Right, so are we firefighters or are we EMS? You said most of the calls are EMS and stuff,
Yeah.
and they're assisted. But you're using those to lower the numbers. Well, if number 2 is out there and they can't go inside the dwelling and stuff, they can only protect what's on the outside, to not spread or anything. And they've got to wait for number 2. And let's say it takes number 2 station, or number 1 station to get out there, and it takes 7 to 8 minutes. That raises your response time, even though the first person's there, but he's not as effective as the 2 person.
Rick put a fire out, a house structure fire out by himself one time. He happened to be out of Station 2 years ago. Got there, put the fire out, and when we got there, all we had to do was overhaul. He saved the entire house. Minimal damage.
Fire was on the outside of the house, I put it out.
But I mean, you didn't go in the house.
No, fire was on the outside of the
On
house.
the outside.
I'm just
It was out, and I was sitting back smoking a cigarette by the time these guys got here, and I don't smoke cigarettes. so.
And you haven't smoked since then?
No, I don't smoke.
Okay,
at all.
that's good. That's good.
Remember,
Okay.
these are black and white numbers as far as response time and arrival, no matter what the call was. So what we're
Right.
trying to get for High Prairie is
Fire numbers.
similar response times that Delaware gets. Won't be as good as Lansing because we're close in, but certainly cutting it down from 12 to 13 minutes down to 7, 8 minutes is an improvement by covering all the shifts. And I think your population wants to hear that at least one fireman is at our station 24/7.
Right, but my point is, even though one person, he gets there on site, he can start setting up, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, if somebody's laying on the kitchen floor or anything, he can't go in until station one
No,
gets there.
if there's a rescue, the guy can go in and make a rescue. If he feels it's safe, rescues, all rules go out the door.
Okay,
Fire, it's different.
Even NFPA regulations, if there's a life safety involved, there's somebody on scene, they're gonna go in and make that rescue.
Okay.
If it's just a house fire, no, they're gonna stand outside and get ready to go. But if
We had a
there's somebody-
fireman go into a house fire without his gear. It was so hot it melted his phone. Didn't it, Jeff? Connie Street comes to mind.
What's that?
Connie Street comes to mind.
Okay.
I remember it having like, it was his phone, wasn't it? Yeah, that
Yeah,
was early on.
that was a rescue, trying to rescue a little girl that was already dead.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, it was TJ's, I think.
TJ's phone.
So I think
Yeah, it was
Okay,
TJ, yeah.
it's TJ's phone.
TJ's.
we look at the process now. We
Well, I
ran our
think-
study.
Yeah, I think the last time we talked about it, we felt that if the results continued, we would look for you to begin the process of identification and going through the process that you go through. I think that's what we talked, yeah, that we talked about the last time.
All right.
So I think we're at a point to where we should begin that process.
Okay. I have the information all printed up and ready to go. I'll release it tomorrow. The only thing I had was we were going to have interviews on the 23rd since the next weekend is Memorial Day. So we can bump that to the 24th. If I can get a board member to volunteer to sit on the interview panel at night,
Is that 24th in the evening or something?
it'll be 7 o'clock in the evening.
Tuesday.
Hang on a second.
I thought we
I don't teach.
had somebody earmarked already. But Jim, if you can do it, that'd be great.
I think, did you miss last time? I think we volunteered you for it last time. Were you? Maybe it was just in my mind we were volunteering.
Yeah, that's it. You were just sticking that to me. Yeah, I can do the 24th.
Okay, 7 p.m.
That'd be great. I don't think we need to do any motion on that, right? It's
No, this
all right.
is just consensus.
Yeah.
And then we'll have, basically what I've got it down, we'll have the written test the week before, we'll do the interview the 24th, and then for the meeting in June, the first meeting in June, we'll have a name for you guys to pick.
You'll have a recommendation. We don't approve it. It's just who you're gonna,
Well, you guys have to, you guys do the hiring and firing, so you'll have to approve on full-time people.
but it's your recommendation.
Yeah, we'll give you a name.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a say in that, only at a certain level and above, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, on the firemen, it's just you're an observer, and on the officers above, you're an active participant, so.
Thanks for putting those results together. Thank you for the comments on your thoughts on that. And moving on to board member concerns. Dean?
Only, I don't have a concern, but I'd like to, again, thank Ed for time with the department here in this day and age of activities going on and other things you could be doing. To be a volunteer for 20 years, that's quite an accomplishment. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I concur. That was an excellent.
It's kind of an exclusive club. So it's
Yeah, very much
just
so.
7 of us.
Number 7. Yeah, ditto. Nice job, man. Thank you. Thank you. June, so we decided on the 3rd, we've moved this to the second week?
We haven't
Monday?
discussed it yet, but work session on the 23rd, and,
Meeting on the 13th? Didn't we, for the?
oh, for the meeting. If we
Yeah, for the meeting?
discuss if we want to go to the second Monday.
Yeah,
We can discuss that on the 23rd.
No, we can pass it now.
You can,
yeah. It's good.
yeah, Jim and Marcus both seem like they want
I
to
got the
do it, so
impression they have a
They
function the
were,
first
they were very
Monday.
definitely
I do
wanting to go to the
too. Yeah, well,
second.
Every month.
Yeah, I need to stay Mondays.
Okay,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think
Because I
everybody's pretty
teach
much
on
on Mondays,
Tuesdays
so.
and Wednesdays.
Why don't we do that? Go to the second?
Yep,
That way it's published plenty of time.
yep.
Okay. You want to make a motion or just do it?
Yeah, let's just do it.
Board consensus.
Board consensus.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Jim Freaky,
Yes.
Dean Miller,
Yes.
Jeff Clapp.
Yes.